Alright, the stream is live, and we can welcome you to race number 6 of 29 here in the 1990 throwbacks. Geoff Bodine has taken the points lead after another very impressive showing at Darlington. Definitely didn't have the best car, but what he definitely did have was a lot of resolve to come back and finish within the top 5 yet again. I don't know where Bodine gets his stuff from, but he's got a lot of resiliency, and thus he's the points leader thus far. Everyone else, other than Bodine and Richmond, just hasn't played up to par. We'll see if Ford can keep the momentum going here into Bristol with a win last week and getting the points lead. That's huge momentum. Of course, Bristol's about as much of a wild card as you can possibly get. You really can't get any closer to a complete wild card than this track. And Mark Martin with 2 consecutive poles. How about that? I think it's been a while since a driver's gotten 2 consecutive poles in the throwbacks, so I'll have to check up on that. I honestly don't know. I don't think it happened last year. So that's interesting, to say the least. No doubt about that. Anyways, your top 10 is going to be Mark Martin on the pole. Darrell Waltrip will be in second. Rusty Wallace in third. Ricky Rudd in fourth. Bill Elliott in fifth. Phil Parsons in sixth. Tim Richmond seventh. Alan Kulwicki eighth. Morgan Shepherd in ninth. And Brett Bodine will round out the top 10. And we'll just wait for this race to get started here at the shortest track, in the second shortest track in NASCAR. Here's command.
Drivers, start your engines!
This definitely is the second shortest track in NASCAR. I forgot that Martinsville is 0.526 miles. This one's 0.533 miles. Big difference. Anyways, pace car pulls in. Leaders are coming off of turn 4. And the green flag is out here at Bristol. Mark Martin will take an early lead. Rusty Wallace is right behind him for the second position. Elliott falls into third. And it looks like Richmond will go into fourth. Lap number 1 will go to Mark Martin. Something that he didn't even see last week before finishing in 31st after also getting involved in an accident. Martin did not have the best of luck, but we'll see if he can turn it around. Elliott's trying to chase Mark Martin down here early on. Doesn't look like it's working out very well for him, but I do have to say this is working out very well for Ford, as Morgan Shepherd just moved into the 4th position, and that will put 3 Fords in the first 4 positions. As someone reminds me to put Darlington in the playlist, I will do that after the race. I'm surprised it doesn't automatically add the live streams. Anyways, coming back to the line, looks like our top 10 is going to be pretty much going into single file now. Mark Martin has the lead. Elliott will be in second. Richmond third. Morgan Shepherd in 4th. We got Terry Labonte in 5th. Dale Earnhardt in 6th. Rusty Wallace in 7th. Ernie Irvin in 8th. Kyle Petty falling to 10th. And Darrell Waltrip being in 9th. And now it looks like Alan Kulwicki is going to try to crack the top 10 here. If he can get around the 17, he's already gone around the 42, so he's in the top 10. No issues there. And Kulwicki's going to get around the 17 anyways. It looks like there was a big crash down the back straightaway. No caution. I'm going to guess that had something to do with Rob Moroso. Try to figure out what happened here. Moroso and Bierschwil seems like they're going to get together here coming off of turn 2. Yep. Surprised that there's not a caution out for that. Both drivers do keep it going though, so I guess Alrighty then. Meanwhile, Mark Martin, he continues to pull out to a larger lead. No issues. As we check the fastest lap column, it looks like Elliott does have the fastest car on the track. Darrell Waltrip is third fastest, but I don't know how much I believe that because he's fallen all the way back to the 12th position and has pretty much been in free fall since the get-go. So I really don't know how much I believe that. That's crazy. Anyways, now here comes Earnhardt. He's trying to run down Ernie Irvan, who had a career best third place finish last week at Darlington. You gotta give it to him. You know, he might be able to win a race this season. Irvan's looked very impressive in that number 4 machine. And this is definitely by far the best that I've ever seen the Larry McClure car here. McClure brothers have really put together a good car this season apparently, and they've got a good driver in Irvin to boot. So it should be really interesting to see how Irvin develops in this number 4 machine. Wallace is finally caught to the back of Morgan Shepherd. We'll see how long it takes for Wallace to try to find a way around. And right now it's looking like a lot of bumper. That Ford just seems to be really difficult to pass, especially at thin tracks like Darlington or Martinsville. Very, very wide body car. The Chevrolets and the Pontiacs, these seem a little bit easier to get around, but man, those Fords they're stout. Wallace still trying to find a way around the 15. Shepherd is holding strong. The 48-year-old veteran trying to hold off one of the hottest drivers in NASCAR, and Harry Gant and Jimmy Horton. Something going on here with Gant and Horton. I'm not sure what. Oh, look out, Geoff Bodine. That also will not bring out the yellow flag. So a really interesting turn of events there, as that's 2 accidents, neither of which have brought out the yellow flag. So now to try to figure out what happened with Gant and Horton. Gant historically really bad at the short tracks, rather. 37th running today, just having a bad day. Him and Horton just getting to the inside wall. Very similar accident going down the back straightaway. They stay off the track surface. They stay away from other cars. They both get back going. Horton not really going fast, but he did get back going at least. Your points leader, Geoff Bodine, is doing terribly from the start once again. That's really a common occurrence now. He's in 13. Here is going to try to get around Ernie Irvan. No problems there. And now Phil Parsons might be trying to get the award for the best Oldsmobile in the field right now. He's going to try to take 7th away from Irvan. Don't think he'll be able to do that. And as soon as I say that, of course, he goes right to the bottom, right around Irvan, and it looks like Ernie Irvan is going to be in free fall now. Not a good place to be at all. Meanwhile, here's Joe Ruttman. He appears to be okay. The 45-year-old was involved in a massive accident at Darlington. Really pancaked that inside wall. We thought that there was going to be some kind of complications from it. No injuries at all from the accident. So Joe Ruttman is A-okay for the time being. Irvan continues to free fall as he goes all the way back to the fringes of the top 10. Meanwhile, Tim Richmond and Bill Elliott, they've been locked in a good struggle here for the 2nd position. And they've also been held up here by Jeff Purvis and Jack Pennington. Purvis in his first full season, and Jack Pennington, of course, compete for Rookie of the Year. Look out, this might be an accident. Oh, if they save it. They saved it. And will Elliott keep the position? No, that's asking too much from Elliott. Elliott will not be saving the position. Oh, he's going to cross him over here, though, coming out of turn 4. Can't quite get to the 25. Meanwhile, Rusty Wallace finally able to put a move on Morgan Shepherd. And then you have Dale Earnhardt, who was able to pick up his 40th career win earlier in the season at Rockingham. Just an unbelievable career Earnhardt had through the 1980s. And coming into the 1990s, really no signs of slowing down. And you take a look at this. Here's the 17 right here. So, Darrell Waltrip, if you can get around Phil Parsons here, I mean, we're talking about 6 championships and over 110 victories between these two drivers. So much talent between Earnhardt and Waltrip, it's not even funny. Both are crazy good drivers. Morgan Shepherd's able to get back around Rusty Wallace. Earnhardt is able to try to get around Rusty Wallace. We'll see if he can do so. And he's got the opportunity and he's got it. So Earnhardt will now move into the top 5. And Elliott is looking for a way back around Tim Richmond. And lap traffic is playing a huge factor, as it always does. Elliott puts the bumper to Richmond, and Richmond barely saved it there coming off of turn 2. Elliott's like, excuse me, man, I want to go. Elliott wants to go. He wants to catch his Ford counterpart, who's way up there. 2.5 second lead up to Mark Martin, who we really haven't shown much in this broadcast because he's been in another zip code. Pretty much very similar to Alan Kulwicki last week. He was in another zip code at Darlington. Here we are at Bristol. And now it's Martin that's in another zip code. So, Mark Martin clearly having a good day. Trying to actually back up his pole position. Last year, Martin had a pretty successful season. He's, of course, trying to back it up. Elliott's trying. Now he's on the back of Richard Petty, someone who hasn't won a race since 1983. Crazy to think that someone with 198 career wins hasn't won in such a long time. And unless some kind of miracle happens at Daytona or Talladega, I don't think that streak's ending anytime soon. Tough luck. Meanwhile, up front, it continues to be Mark Martin. He's led every lap to this point, and short track racing, that's pretty typical, actually. Usually the leader pulls off like this, and today it's Mark Martin's lucky day, as he's pretty much had a stress-free drive through traffic. We'll see if that continues. Right now, Elliott's done a good job. He's broken away for the 2nd position. Put a couple of lap cars between him and Richmond, trying to take the pressure off of him. Somebody that does not have the pressure off of him, though, is Morgan Shepherd, as he repassed Rusty Wallace for the 4th position. Wallace trying to find a way to get into 4th. Morgan Shepherd, he'll be able to get around Chad Little. No problem. Eddie Bierschwell up high. Shepherd trying to avoid. Man, Wallace is right on the bumper of the 15. Whoa, it looked like that Tim Richmond really did not get a good run there off of turn 4. Really got held up by Bobby Hillen Jr. 3 wide. Oh, not a good idea here at Bristol. Not a lot of room. Now, that was a good idea for Ricky Rudd, because he's going to get that position. Risky move, but it paid off, and now Rudd might get another position here for Morgan Shepherd. Yeah, Shepherd's going to fall back. So that really risky move by Ricky Rudd turns out to be a really good move. Hey, sometimes they pay off big time, and that one did pay off. And now Phil Parsons, remember, he won this race last year. He knows how to win here at Bristol. And we've got another car around. It's Bobby Hillin Jr. And it looks like Eddie Bierschwil, he hit the inside wall yet again. As I continue to try to scroll backwards, I don't think I'm going to be able to scroll backwards in time. I don't know, maybe it's merged back up into traffic. But anyways, Eddie Bierschwil hit the inside wall again. As I continue to try to find the 90 car somewhere. There he is. So Morgan Shepherd was involved in this one. We'll try to figure out exactly what happened here. I think it's another one of those 3 wide scenarios, and it just does not pan out. Indeed, that's the case. Oh, Hillin hit the wall. And that was it. Just Hillin hit the wall. Outside wall, and then he came across the track. Not the best of luck for Morgan Shepherd there, but maybe this is probably the best track for that to happen at, because this is not really a track where aerodynamics mean a thing. It's all about short track skill. But that does really suck, because Shepherd was having a really good day up inside the top 5. Bierschwil's coming back out. He's just had a really rough go of things over the past 2 weeks. We'll see if his luck improves anytime soon. I don't think it will. Meanwhile, Phil Parsons, he's up in the top 5, trying to hold off the 3-time champion in Darrell Waltrip behind him. Of course, Darrell Waltrip, we all know that he has not had the greatest amount of success with Hendrick Motorsports. 1987, 0 wins. 1988, 1 win. 1989, 1 win. Coming here at Bristol. It was the night race, however. So you're seeing the 2 Bristol winners battling out against each other here. Of course, Darrell Waltrip does have 1 win this year. It was the Daytona 500. First time that Darrell Waltrip has ever won the Daytona 500 in what has to be one of the crazier turn of events that I've ever seen. Anyways, it looks like Waltrip's going to be able to get around Wallace here. 3 wide again. Watch where you're going. Man, that just sends me into panic mode every time I see 3 wide at this track. It's just really risky. You saw why there with Morgan Shepherd. That outside wall is really claustrophobic at this track, getting off the corner. So it's just so difficult to make it 3 wide here and not wreck and get any kind of momentum. Sometimes you get lucky, that car right up against that outside wall lets you go, but other times, that car right up against the outside wall, he just wants to keep going. Because he's got the momentum coming off the 36 degrees of banking of this track. And that 36 degrees of banking is massive. It's very, very difficult to stand in the corners here at Bristol. Waltrip trying to find a way around here. It's just been difficult for him. Yeah, well, this day has not come easy for Darrell Waltrip. Look out! Contact with Cope. That was close. Contact with Derek Cope in the 10 car was just not a good move there by Waltrip at all. Waltrip should be able to pass the Whitcomb Racing Machine, which, by the way, Cope has done a not half bad job today, up in the 21st position. Jack Pennington has done a pretty poor job in the 33rd position. And if we want to talk about Rookie of the Year battle, right now the leader actually is Jack Pennington in the 47. You've got... Is that true? Ooh, wait, that can't be right. I'm scrolling through the standings looking for one person, can't find him. Oh, never mind. Jimmy Horton, that's right, he got involved in that accident really early on and had to retire. So yeah, that actually is correct. The rookie of the race right now is Jack Pennington, but Rob Moroso actually just got around Jack Pennington, so never mind. So Rob Moroso is the best rookie running right now, to pretty much no surprise to anybody. And we saw last week at Darlington just how talented Rob Moroso is, even though he's one lap down, still hanging with the leaders. Very, very impressive stuff. And he might, although he's racing for his dad right now, that might attract a ride for him, a lucrative one. Oh, we've got Sterling Marlin around on the front straightaway. And we've got, I thought I saw somebody riding the outside wall there. That's definitely commonplace at this track. Man, Tim Richmond didn't get any breaks there. Let's try to figure out exactly what happens here. So they just get together coming off the turn. I told you that high line is just so much faster. They cut across the track. Waltrip has nowhere to go, and McDuffie gets up onto the rails there. Try to get the better angle. You'll see McDuffie gets up on the rails just a little bit, and Jimmy Spencer gets into the back of the 94 hard. And of course, they had to wait for the ensuing pit cycle to happen. Unbelievable. So I think all those guys are going to be scored one lap down. It's always interesting how they score this when there's a caution flag thrown during a pit cycle. Ken Schrader, what are you doing? I don't even want to ask this one. What are you doing? Come on, Ken. You've got to do better than that. Come on, Ken. Oh, man. Okay. So all these cars up here, I'm going to presume, are on the tail end of the lead lap. Okay, so now, note these guys are all pitting on the back straightaway, I'm guessing? Okay, so those are all going to be people that are pitting on the back stretch. Okay, so we really don't care about them much. Alright, these are the guys that are going to be on the tail end of the lead lap. It looks like it's... Wait for them to come across the line here. It looks like it starts with the one of Parsons and then goes further back from there. Your leader is still Mark Martin, and it looks like they're only going to put 5 cars not on the tail end of the lead lap, and that'll be Martin, Elliott, Waltrip, Wallace, and Earnhardt. So that's it. Those are the 5 drivers. And that's going to be pretty much the only 5 drivers that are in contention for this race now as we go green. Things are going to get crazy on this start. 3 wide. Ooh, hang in there. No, we don't. Caution flag is out. Huge crash in front of these guys. I think. Nope, it's just Hutch Strickland ran out of talent, unfortunately. And Mark Martin gets to the bottom of the track. It looks like Tim Richmond is 1 lap down. So Richmond's not competing for the race. Elliott's stuck in purgatory back there. In fact, pretty much everyone's stuck in lap traffic purgatory, but the man that got free, it is Mark Martin. And we have another wreck. Not quite, but we're still going 3 wide. Pennington and Waltrip got together. Ken Schrader finally figured out what was going on with his car after stalling out on pit road, losing several laps. He's back on the track. So that'll spot Earnhardt in the 3rd position. We've got Tim Richmond going really slow. And Richmond's going to go down pit road. And these guys are barely surviving. I don't know how these guys have not completely spilled their spaghetti all over the track yet. Is that going to be it? No. Ruttman merges. Give him room. Still no wreck. As has been some Class A driving by just about everybody. Leaders and lapped cars alike. Right now, your leader still is the number 6 of Mark Martin. And I think this is also going to be his first win that we can definitely say is in dominating fashion. These really took it to town here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And to be quite honest, I'm really not surprised that Martin has done this well. Of course, he got that win at Richmond last year along with the win at Talladega. Kind of a little bit of shocking, but hey, he still did it. It wasn't really in dominating fashion either. Took the lead away from Kulwicki with only a handful of laps to go to do it. But today, really nobody has touched Mark Martin. And I mean absolutely nobody has touched Mark Martin. If anybody's going to have any chance of coming up to Martin, it's going to be Elliott. And Elliott is just running out of time really quickly. It looks like you look up at the ticker, there's 41 laps to go. But you're talking 17 seconds a lap. Elliott does not have time. He's got to make up 2 seconds. 17 seconds a lap, 40 laps to go. The odds are stacked against Elliott to get this done. No doubt about that. You know, I usually have that general rule of thumb where if you're down by more than 1/10 of a second a lap, you're done. Well, at this track, it's more of a 1/2 of a 10th of a second. So double that lead to 4.4, 44 laps. I just don't think that Elliott's got enough car underneath him to get up to Martin. Not only because of pace, but because of lap traffic. And Martin is... This is the thing that Martin's really done well all day long. He's cut through this lap traffic like butter. He's just made everyone look like a chump on the track, to be honest. But Elliott is catching slowly but surely. The lead is coming down. It's now down to 2.1 seconds. Hey, catching is one thing. Passing is an entirely different ballgame. In fact, the lead's now down to 1.8. That was a huge gain. But it also might have a lot to do with J.D. McDuffie getting in the way. Elliott's also got more lap traffic to deal with, and Martin's got a clean track in front of him. Virtually no gain of margin there. Now Martin's going to have to find a way around a slow Joe Ruttman. No issues there. And the lead's back up to 1.9. So, yeah, I'd say that Martin's got this one pretty much in the bag. Any kind of margin loss was due to lap traffic. Margin stays constant, 1.9. Elliott was just a tiny bit faster that time, though. Elliott, again, just tiny bit faster. As Joe Ruttman just slams the outside wall again. And this track is difficult. Coming off that turn 2 and turn 4, that outside wall is a lot closer than a lot of drivers like to think that it is. And it's not surprising to see them ping off that outside wall a lot. This is a really tight racetrack. You look at it, 36 degrees of banking. It doesn't look that tight. It looks pretty spacious, actually, for a track. This is probably one of the tightest grooves, if not the tightest groove in NASCAR. This track is just exceptionally difficult to find grip, especially front grip. Anybody that can really master this course, like Dale Earnhardt or Darrell Waltrip, yeah, you've done quite well. Elliott continues to reel in Mark Martin at a rather impressive rate. It's now down to 1.2 seconds, the lead. So Elliott continues to reel in this 6 car. Martin also seems to be having a miserable time with lap traffic. So that probably has a huge part in this. So don't forget, just because we've got these cars coming up to the front, man, lap traffic plays a huge role in this race. It's all about who manages it better. Right now it looks like in general Elliott is managing it better. But now Elliott, look at all this lap traffic that Martin is going through now. Elliott's going to have to go through this plus more if he wants to get up to Martin. Martin has now put everybody up to 9th place, 1 lap down. So it's not like Martin's gone insane. You know, he's got a very fast car. He's about to put 9th place a lap down. So everyone up to 8th is now a lap down. And there's an open track in front of him for a little bit. So, advantage Mark Martin here for the next 10 laps or so. Give it another 10 laps. I just don't think Elliott's going to have enough time. Elliott's faster. No doubt about it. Elliott is faster. Just lap traffic. Man, that was an expert move, cutting off Jeff Purvis from the low line. Great dive bomb. Moroso gets out of the way for Martin. Now Martin's going to have to deal with another slow car in Rodney Coombs. See if he can pass Terry Labonte. Put him a lap down. Now Martin is really working up a rap sheet. Elliott continues to come. This is going to be one of the best come-from-behind victories I've ever seen at this track. If Elliott's able to run Martin down and take the lead, that would be incredible. Man, Elliott's come from over 3 seconds down. What an incredible drive. If Martin gets denied this victory, you just have to hand it to the 2-time champ in Elliott for knowing exactly how to get this done. Of course, Martin's still, I don't want to say inexperienced. I mean, he's been in the Cup Series since 1981. But this is only his, well, this is going to be his 3rd full-time season with this team. And of course, this is only his 3rd full-time season since his extended hiatus in the mid-80s. So, now Martin hasn't had too much Cup experience, especially running up front. He doesn't have any Cup experience running up front like this. So, you've got Elliott here, who literally just won the championship last year. I think experience is playing a big factor in determining who's going to win this race. And experience usually is a big determining factor in figuring out how to get around lap traffic the most efficiently. For most of this race, it looked like Martin was getting around the lap traffic the best. Hasn't happened. Just hasn't happened. Martin just trying to hold the bottom here. He's trying to get around Ricky Rudd, I think. I don't know if that's going to be the best move now that Elliott is coming. Martin's going to have to go full defense here. He can't worry about getting around Rudd. He's got to worry about keeping Elliott behind him because now here comes Elliott. 12 laps to go. Elliott's got plenty of time. Oh, they're wrecking in front of him. A big wreck in front of him. Jack Pennington. Elliott's underneath. Wasn't able to get any run. Caution flag is out. Caution flag is out. Field is dead at the line. And something happened with the 47 of Jack Pennington. We'll try to figure out what. I'm going to guess here just got turned by Wallace. A very impatient Rusty Wallace. And pretty accurate. Oh, wow. Wallace and Eddie Bierschwil hearted to the outside wall. Bierschwil, in his third accident of the day, put him down, man. You get involved in 3 accidents in one race. It's time to take it behind the wall. Oh, what a miserable race for Eddie Bierschwil. 8 laps down in 37th position. Now he's finally taking it behind the wall. Again, it's just been a miserable, miserable day for the Junie Don Levy Ford there. Just, man, it's just not good. So in this dead time, it looks like the only drivers that are going to be competing for position here is going to be Martin and Elliott. Now, at least it's on the lead lap. Since we are restarting within 10 laps to go, this will be a single file restart, so you're not going to see the lap traffic line up to the left like you would on a normal restart. Within 10 laps to go, NASCAR rules state that all restarts within 10 laps to go are single files. So the lap cars, they aren't going to drop back. They're going to stay right where they are. Where you are is where you are, pretty much. Earnhardt's not going to be able to change his position, really. Waltrip's not going to be able to improve his. Neither will Parsons, neither will Rudd. Of course, you've got Terry Labonte and Kyle Petty for 7th, but that's for 7th. The big story is going to be if Mark Martin can hold off Bill Elliott here. 6 laps to go. There's going to be no traffic to speak of. And if you take a look at the fastest lap column, Mark Martin is marginally better. But Elliott was stronger on that last run. Can Martin hold him off? Green flag, and Elliott got a huge jump but couldn't do anything about it. You can't pass to the left before the line, and Martin defended the wall really, really well. 5 laps to go. I don't think Martin stands any chance here. Now we'll see how long it takes for Elliott to finally make a move. Kyle Petty and Terry Labonte, again, they're 1 lap down. They are not going to be factored in who wins this race. They could if they get to Elliott and try to pass Elliott, but I don't think that's going to happen. Martin desperately trying to hold off the 9. I think he's got him. No! Martin defends, slamming the door shut in turn 3. 3 laps to go. Elliott trying to set him up. Martin's defended really well. It's only 6 laps to defend. And laps just tick away oh so quickly at this course. 2 laps to go. Is that a yellow flag? It is not. Here comes Elliott to the bottom. Can Martin defend this time? It doesn't look like it. Elliott to the point with 1.5 laps to go. That was just a strike with surgical precision. White flag. Elliott has the lead. Martin has no time to respond. I just don't think Martin's going to be able to get back to Elliott. No way, no how. Elliott will come off of turn 4 with a masterful victory here at Bristol. That was just an incredible showing of racing skill there, and that is why Elliott is a 2-time champion of this series. Oh, great job for Elliott there, picking up his first win of the season, beating out a very dominant Mark Martin. So Bill Elliott, he is going to take the points lead after that race. Good Lord, Waltrip will be in second, Geoff Bodine will be in third. So Elliott is now once again your points leader. It didn't take long for him to get back into the points lead. Just some things I like to do. Of course, Bodine hasn't won yet. He's best driver without a win. Neil Bonnet, best driver without a top 5, and Morgan Shepherd, best driver without a top 10. It's not bad. Who's winning the DNF Cup so far? A lot of people. Strickland, Pennington, Horton, Ruttman, all with 3 DNFs. Not looking good. Not looking good at all. But anyways, Elliott with the points lead now. I'll show the full results. Can't remember if I did that last time or not. But anyways, here's the full results. Elliott, 2 laps led. But man, were they the 2 laps that counted. Martin leading all day long. Elliott snatching the lead at the final possible moment. Great win for Elliott. And looks like we're going to see you next time for North Wilkesboro.